currently delaying your relocation or your move abroad overseas, that's what we want to talk about in today's video. So you want to stay to the very end so that you can learn about some tips that could help to accelerate your move abroad, especially this year. So you want to stick to the very end of this video. And guys, by now, you know, as you come onto the video, please do say hello in the comment section below. Let me know where you are watching me from. And of course, to give the video a thumbs up because it's the right thing to do. And most importantly, it is free. And it helps with the algorithms so that it pushes the video to a lot more people. So I see all of you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for saying hello. I see all of you. I'm just going to come back to the comment section in a bit. But right now, let's dive right in. So we all know that relocating from Africa or from any other country to a new one can be an exciting journey, but it can also be very, very challenging depending on how you plan your move. So there are some things which if you do could delay your move, while there are other things that if you do could make your move so much faster and help your transition so much smoother and even so much faster. So number one mistake a lot of us make, and guys, believe me, I have done some of these mistakes, so I'm probably talking from experience for some of them. So number one is not understanding the incentive. So guys, like I have always said, when it comes to being welcomed to these other people's countries, it's not because they love you so much. No, it's because that of things that they are hoping to get from you. The same way when you're planning to go to these countries, it's not because you love them so much, it's because there are some incentives that are driving you. So one of the biggest mistakes a lot of us make is that we underestimate how much incentives drive behavior. So you have to understand what the incentives are, and then you have to find ways to leverage these incentives to accelerate your move. So for example, when, let's say, countries have shortage occupation lists, they have careers that are in their shortage occupation lists. That's one avenue for you to find out what are their incentives for having work visas to their country. So for example, I have shared with you guys shortage occupation lists for countries such as Lithuania, which is in Europe. I have shared with you shortage occupation lists for countries such as Canada. I have shared shortage occupations lists for countries such as the UK. So every time, for example, you see like a certain country is offering a certain visa, ask yourself, what is the incentive? And then take advantage of that and see how you can leverage it to make sure that you accelerate your move. So for example, if you notice that a lot of the work visas that are being issued by these Western countries are related to, let's say, nursing or caregiving or software engineering or factory jobs or whatever it is, then it just makes sense for you if, let's say, you're planning to pursue a new career or you're trying to pursue a new skill, then to take advantage of those incentives that the countries you want to go to have for you. If, let's say, I am a teacher in Kenya and I am looking for greener pastures, they call it the lowest hanging fruit for me would be to get a J1 visa to the US, because currently the US is trying to incentivize cultural integration of their students. So if they can find a way of doing that, what better way to do so than through teaching? So instead of, for example, me wasting my time trying to go and be a teacher in Canada, it is so much easier for me to take advantage of this incentive that the US has, apply for a J1 visa, and go and teach in the US for the next 5 years, which allows me to come with my children, it allows me to come with my spouse. So please, please don't fall into the trap of underestimating and leveraging incentives. Incentives move the world, okay? And whether that is going to be on how you choose what career pathway for you, what skill set to go for, what country to relocate to, it's important to make sure that you leverage incentives to accelerate your move. Number two mistake that a lot of us who are looking to move abroad make is being too comfortable with poverty. And I use the word poverty very lightly. So here, for this particular video, when I talk about poverty or when I talk about you being poor, I'm basically saying you are not able to afford your daily needs. So for example, right now, if I feel like I want to eat chicken and I'm not able to buy that chicken, not because there is no Glovo app, but because I don't have money, I would term myself as poor. If I want to change my hairstyle, but I don't have money to put a new hairstyle, I would call myself as poor. If my child needs to go to school and for what reason I'm not able to afford their school fee for the school that my heart desire or their heart desires, then I consider myself poor. If I need to go to visit my spouse and I cannot raise the bus fare, then I consider myself poor. So generally, when you become too comfortable with poverty, which again, as I've said, so don't come from in the comment section, basically being unable to meet your basic needs, then it becomes a problem when it comes to seeking greener pastures. So a lot of people, especially in the continent, grew up in very modest environments because most of the countries in Africa are still developing. And they became too comfortable with having little. While this is a good thing in terms of creating discipline and what can I call it, like kujinyima, if you become too comfortable with having little, yes, it will build resilience in you, but it could also delay your ambition to seek a better life abroad because you start thinking, okay, maybe this is how the whole world operates. This is how the whole world is. So instead of investing in opportunities that could, for example, boost your income, boost your cash flow, boost your savings, you focus more on staying within your comfort zone. The other challenge with this is that you end up having a poverty mindset, such that you don't think in terms of abundance. You're always thinking on the wavelength of lacking, to the extent that you don't even dream well. And remember, when you don't have a dream, it's almost impossible to even have a vision. And if you don't have a vision, it becomes almost impossible to even know where to go and seek opportunities. So you have to really dream. I mean, for those of us who even believe in the Bible, like even God himself, for him to create such a beautiful, dynamic world, he had a dream. And how do I know so? The way in which he didn't just jumble things up. For example, on day one, he decides, I'm going to create light and day. Day two, he decides, I'm going to separate the firmaments, the waters and the land. Oh, I think that was day one. And then he decides, I'm going to make the ground to grow plants because I need something for the animals to eat and all that. So you can clearly see that he had a plan. So if the master of the universe has a plan and you don't have one, then clearly there is a problem. So don't be too comfortable with poverty. That's how I always say poverty is the enemy. And you guys have even seen when people come to troll me here on my videos, I'm like, bro, hold up. Just go and heal your traumas and then come back and let's have a conversation. Because when you're dealing with poverty and the poverty I've described in that mindset, it is almost difficult to even think that I could get a life abroad. Are we number three now? Yes. Number three mistake a lot of us make when you want to move abroad is believing that cash is king. I know a lot of us have been told that cash is king, but in my experience, cash is not king. Cash flow is king. So a lot of us have been made to believe that cash is king to the extent that we have focused so much on trying to save it up instead of letting it flow. Yeah, you know how money operates. Money is like energy. It needs to flow. It needs to be spent. It needs to exchange hands for it to grow. But if you just keep your cash the way it is, it loses value over time because of inflation. No one knows this better than people in Kenya, for example. But if you focus on cash flow, then automatically you're going to be more likely to focus on investments that provide income, okay? A steady one. And it would help to make your financial situation more robust and so much better and prepare you for the move. And like, for example, if you're more interested like in just cash the way it is, you're gonna more likely spend it, keep it like in a bank account, or if you're a Kenya, plot maguta maguta. So you end up in a situation whereby you are actually cash poor, but rich in terms of what is that word? They say you're cash poor, but you're what? I've forgotten. But basically, like for example, I have all these tracts of land that cost so much money, but if let's say I win the green card tomorrow, I don't even have funds in my bank account to show the visa officer that I actually qualify for this visa, so please give it to me. So don't be that situation whereby you are, oh yes, I remembered, cash poor but asset rich. When you are planning a move abroad, you need cash flow. Like I keep saying here on the channel, you're going to need money because let's say, for example, you're moving to work on a cruise ship. You're going to need money for your medicals. You're going to need money for your visa application. You're going to need money for some cruise ship companies. You have to buy your own air ticket. The same thing applies if, let's say, you're using an agency. So those of you who have been watching my videos for the most recent past, you remember I told you my friend started a recruitment agency and she's taking people to Europe to do the factory jobs. She's still focusing on the factory jobs. She hasn't started other jobs. She's just focusing on factory jobs. So please don't come in the comments and ask me, Eva, I don't want a factory job. I want a nurse. Can your friend help me? No, she's focusing strictly on factory jobs now. If she changes, you'll be the first people to know. And she's not coming cheap. So I saw, for example, the other day she has, 10 slots for Spain, and it's costing almost 5,000 euros. So you can imagine somebody has land worth even 20,000, 30,000 euros. They want to take up this opportunity, but they can't because who are you going to sell to a piece of land overnight? It's difficult. So guys, when you're planning your move abroad, yes, it's good to have a few assets here and there, but make sure that you focus on cash flow, okay? Cash flow is king, not cash. Number 4, that has made a lot of us, number 4 mistake that has made a lot of us not take up opportunities abroad is avoiding risks. Some of you guys have like zero tolerance for risk, such that, so if you've been on the channel long enough, for example, you know I work in Mogadishu. And some of you have the audacity to come like, hey, like Mogadishu of all the places, like that country doesn't even have a government. What are you doing there? But guys, I'm here talking to you. I'm talking to you guys here. So sometimes when you have zero tolerance for risks, it's just gonna keep you stagnant. The other day I was having a conversation with some of my colleagues in the office. And actually one of them, she speaks French. She's very fluent in French. She's done very well in logistics and procurement, all that. And she was telling us she got a job in Mali with the UN. And so I was like, why did you take up the job? And she's like, oh, I asked around and I was told that Mali is very dangerous. Excuse me, is there a city more dangerous than Nairobi? In fact, I feel more unsafe when I'm in Nairobi than when I am in Mogadishu. And I was like, dude, you literally lost DSA allowance, danger allowance, free education for your kids, your career path, blah, 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 because of zero tolerance for risk. And I know people are different, but if you are too afraid to invest in opportunities that seem uncertain, you basically end up missing out on potential high returns. They say the higher the risk, the higher the benefits, yeah? But I'm not saying just be careless with your life. All I'm trying to say is calculated risks are necessary for you to actually grow and for you to take up opportunities to move abroad, to move overseas and make significant life changes. Like guys, I have told you, my first expatriate job was in 2009 and I was working in Afghanistan. And I went there with my son. He was 1.5 years old back then. But that is the leap of faith I needed. It was a financial boost that I needed to be where I'm at right now, because there was no way anybody was going to give me the kind of job that I wanted in Nairobi. And that is why I went for that. And it just changed my life. Like I won't even lie. I won't even lie to you at Nekogerea Mane. No, it was that first move that has made my life the way it is right now. And I can't complain. And I won't even lie to you that Nigod Maze. No, it took that risk. So sometimes you may want to go to Canada. You may want to go to the US. You may want to go to Australia. But it might take a detour to South Sudan. I have seen somebody here from South Sudan, and what did they say? Sadiq, she said, from wounded Sudan, I am so sorry to hear that, and I pray to God that things get better. So sometimes it might take a detour to wounded Sudan for you to make the dollars that you need to go and live on a green card in America. So let us be open-minded, guys. It might take that place for you to go to Mali. Let's not be too fearful. Fear, like I always say, is one of the lowest forms of vibration. It's down there with shame, yeah? And people die everywhere. Those of you, I keep talking about this. My mother died on her bed, sleeping. She slept and she died. She didn't need to go to Afghanistan to die. She didn't need to go to Mogadishu to die. Siku yako ikifika, you will go. Even if you're sitting on a screen like I'm sitting here, I will just keep quiet and go. So make the money when you can, okay? The other mistake that a lot of us are making that is delaying our move abroad is not focusing on income generation. I cannot tell you the number of people who are so hung up in moving abroad to the extent that they're not even like looking for a job in Kenya or Ghana or Zimbabwe, wherever you're watching me from. Like they're so hung up, and it's like year 4 now, year 5, year 6. So like this YouTube channel has been here since 2020. So there are people who have been following me for pathways to move abroad to the extent they don't even want to look at anything in their own countries. So while that kind of laser focus is important, if you spend too much time on tomorrow and forget to invest on today, then it's going to be really, really difficult. So find ways to create additional income streams. If you have one, please get a second one, please get a third one, because one is too close to zero. I keep saying that all the time. Invest in skills or businesses that generate passive income, and this would significantly speed up your ability to relocate, because like we said, there is no free relocation unless you're very fortunate. Like if, let's say, you get an employer from the UK and they decide that they're going to sponsor your entire move together with your kids and your whole family. These kind of opportunities, they exist, but they do not come very easy. So sometimes you're going to need to invest your own money before even the employer refunds you. So find ways of increasing your income generation. Focus on increasing your monthly income and not just your savings, yeah? Savings is not enough. We have said money loses value. So focus on increasing your cash inflow, your monthly income, okay? Number 5, mistake a lot of us are making, and that is why it's delaying our move abroad, is being overly skeptical of opportunities. This is almost related to not taking risks, but so many of us have dismissed opportunities as scams, and in the end missed out on legitimate ways to move abroad. So I will give you an example, actually maybe 2. So there's a guy, he's actually, I'm hoping I can bring him here on the channel. He's also a YouTuber, and he used to follow me here, and then he got a job on a cruise ship, and then so he doesn't get a lot of time to be here. But if you're watching me, Ernest, please comment there. And please forgive me for saying your story without your permission. So Ernest works on a cruise ship. And before he started working on a cruise ship, he used to work in Dubai for almost, I think, 7 years. If I'm not wrong, Ernest, please correct me if I think it was 7, but I know it was 5 years. He was working in Dubai. So one day while he was minding his business, he saw, he was going through LinkedIn, and then he saw one of the cruise ship companies. I think the staff had posted that they were looking for pizza chefs. So he was like, okay, let me just try. There's no harm in trying. So he actually, I think DM, that guy had said, I don't know if you're interested, you can DM yourself. I don't remember the exact story. So he decided to DM this guy, and the guy responded in less than a day. And I think he had to do like maybe one very simple interview. It wasn't like an interview per se, but it was very, very easy. Like within, I think 2 days, he had a job offer. Hey, and then he was like, because he was so used to suffering to get jobs that when this one now actually came like this, he was like, ish, this must be a scam. How is it so easy? So he just, I think he ghosted that guy, or he officially told him, I'm not boarding. So that opportunity passed. And then now, after some time, I think it was now after COVID, now we started talking, actually during COVID, so a lot of us, we started talking about jobs on cruise ships. We started sharing on TikTok and everywhere, and all these recruiting companies started coming to Kenya, and I started doing interviews with people. So I think when they saw these interviews with people who's gotten jobs on cruise ships, and a lot more content creators talking about jobs on cruise ships, he was like, oh, maybe this thing is legit. So he decided now to go back. Remember, he already had that guy, the recruiter's contact details. Guys, I'm so sorry, my washing machine is making that noise, but kindly bear with me. So he decided like, okay, let me just DM that guy. I mean, there's no harm in trying. So I think he went and DM'd that guy. Honestly, I hope I'm not mixing up the story, but all I know, he went back to that guy. And then he told him, okay, I'm now ready to work on the cruise ship. Please tell me the details and all that. And this guy not only gave him a job offer, but also told him, do you know other people that can work for us? So you can imagine. So this was almost like, I think, 2 to 3 year gap. Because he was too skeptical then, he missed out on almost 3 years of a better opportunity. But for him, he was fortunate that his opportunity didn't like slide off. It was like ilikuwa nyota yake that God had put aside for him. So he was fortunate that he still went back to this guy, and he was still able to get his opportunity was waiting for him. But it's not a lot of us who are that lucky. Some people, you miss out that one, that's the end for you, never get another one. The other one that comes to mind, I am in a Satan WhatsApp group, and I don't know what we're talking about. And then I was checking if it's raining. So I'm in this WhatsApp group. It's travel related WhatsApp group. So I don't remember just recently, like a week or so ago, I don't remember what we were talking about, what the topic was in the group. And then somehow I posted an opportunity that I've shared with you guys severally. If you can speak, no, I think it was the one for converting visitor visa to work permit in Canada. There's currently a temporary public policy that allows you to convert your visitor visa to a work permit without leaving the country. So I actually posted that, and she was like, wait, you mean this thing has been true? Oh, I don't know, in 20 what? My friend shared with me an opportunity, and she said it was actually possible to do this, but I thought it was a scam. So that opportunity just passed me. And I was like I was so angry. Like, what was so difficult? Just picking your phone or your laptop, going to Google and checking. So guys, some of you are overly skeptical to the extent that even when you could have, like, if you're skeptical, I mean, go to Google and check. Ask me, ask other people that talk about these opportunities. Or sometimes, especially opportunities where nobody's asking you for money, what do you stand to lose? Nothing, yeah? So your skepticism is holding you back from exploring opportunities that could propel you to the next level in your life. And for some of you, it's not even just about for moving. Even when it comes to just making money, some of you are so skeptical to the extent that even your move is just being delayed. Like unajifungia nyota yako. So guys, it's like I've said, it's okay to make calculated risks, but also give a little room for doubt, and when you're not sure, make Google your friend. I keep saying all these Western countries, they have websites, and their websites are rife with information. Everything you ever want to know, you'll find. They're not like our African countries where everything is hoarded and hidden and kept under wraps. Their information is free and publicly available. Number 7 mistake a lot of us make, which are delaying our move abroad, is underestimating the importance of wealth. Okay? So, especially if you're in my age group, where are you, my 70s people and some of my 80s people? I don't know if the same thing message is being preached to the Gen Zs, yeah? But there has been that cliche that a lot of us have been traumatized with, that money doesn't buy everything. Yeah, money doesn't buy happiness. A lot of us have been sold that narrative. Money doesn't buy everything. So don't usipende pesa sana. Money doesn't buy everything. Don't love money too much. But me, I've been alive for the last 45 years. And one thing I have come to learn, guys, is that there are a lot of life's problems that money, like the fact that there's money, it makes those problems a little, which word can I use? Like it cushions some of those problems. Like life is 1,000% so much easier when money isn't a problem. And I'll give you a practical example. I'll go back to my mom. So my mom, for a very long time, those of you who have been watching me, you probably already know this, my late mom, she got her first heart attack in 2009. Just a few weeks after I had relocated to Afghanistan. And at the time, that was 15 years ago, at the time, they wanted, so she had a heart attack and then they had to like jumpstart it. And the cardiologist asked for 1 million Kenya shillings. Guys, do you know how much 1 million shillings was in 2009, 15 years ago? The cardiologist wanted to buy, because to jumpstart, when somebody suffers a heart attack, to jumpstart their heart, you use mercury. And this was outside the doctor's fees. It was outside, so this was just to buy the mercury. You haven't paid for, I don't know, ECG, you haven't paid for, I don't know what, all those things. Just the mercury itself, I remember vividly, it was 1 million Kenya shillings. That is what they wanted. And I was like, okay, how do we send the money? Like I didn't even have to think twice because I had the money, yeah? So that's just one example. My mother had a heart condition 15 years until her death. But I can tell you, God is my witness, not even one day did we go to any WhatsApp group to ask people, oh, can you give us money for I don't know what, give us money for this, give us money for that. Well, I know part of it was because my mother was a very prayerful woman. So I made a pact with God when we discovered that when she was diagnosed with the heart thing, we made a pact with God and I told God, this is your daughter. She has been very, very prayerful. I don't understand why this cup has been given to her. But my only request, God, let it not be a source of embarrassment for her. And God was faithful. For the 15 years, we never lacked. My mother went to the best facilities. Like, if she was like, oh, I need to go to India tomorrow. I'm like, cool. What time do you want the flight to be? Morning, noon, or evening flight? Like, God was faithful for those 15 years. And fortunately for me, I took the risks. So it worked well because I did my part. Remember, God is not going to send divine intervention where human action is needed. So I did my human part and God did the divine intervention, and he honored that pact that we made with him in 2009. And even the way my mother died, like I tell you guys, she slept and she never woke up. And I always imagine if, let's say, and she died in the village. So when she died in the village, we don't have these fancy hospitals. So all they were trying to do is, actually the doctor was doing mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. It didn't work. They tried the manual one. It didn't work. And my mother used to live in Kisumu, like for over 20 years. But for her to die, she was in the village. On a day, she was not even supposed to be there. She was supposed to travel back to Kisumu the day before, but she decided to extend for one day, and that's the night she died. And I keep telling myself, those Kenyans watching me, you know how the tingle goes. Had my mother gotten her heart attack in Nairobi or in Kisumu, where we have these big hospitals, the natural thing for us to have wanted to do was to rush her to the hospital. And I can tell you guys for free. The moment these hospitals know, I don't know about other countries, but in Kenya, the moment they know that you have money, even if you're dead, they will not pronounce you dead on arrival. They will put you in a machine. They know you're a cabbage, but they will keep you on those machines until they know your insurance cover is over or you cannot have any more deposits. Because they keep you there, and every day they will keep asking, oh, can you give us 100,000 today and 200 tomorrow? So if they realize that you don't have money, then they will tell you, okay, your person is dead. And I knew that's what could have happened. It would have had a huge, huge bill. But because God remembered that pact we had put together, my mother died a very, very, very smooth death, peaceful. In fact, we had, I think our bill was, 2,000 shillings for the mortuary. And the mortuary actually waived for us that fee. So we didn't have that much financial crisis to worry about. So what am I trying to say is that don't be lied to that money is not everything. Actually, I always say, he who tells you money, so actually there's two things I have about money. So one, money is not everything. It is the only thing. And he who tells you that money is not everything has never heard it. I can tell you guys, if I didn't have money, I will tell you free of charge, my mother's sickness would have been such a burden that I'm sure even my own personal faith would have been affected. But because the money was available, the burden was so much, much easier and lighter. Of course, for her, it was really terrible. By the way, you don't even ever wish it on your enemy. To need to be always on drugs is the worst thing ever. If I had to choose between being healthy and being wealthy, I will either ask God, give me both. But if I have to pick one, I would rather be healthy. Take that to the bank. But for the one who is not sick, having money makes a difference. Trust you me, your person carries their disease with dignity. Like you don't have to be begging. Like right now in Kenya, the doctors are on strike. If my mother was still alive, and let's say something like we need an urgent medical thing, I would not be worried because I would just take her to Aga Khan or Nairobi Hospital or whichever. And that's what so the point I'm trying to bring across is, do not underestimate the importance of wealth, the importance of money. As much as money doesn't buy happiness and all that kind of sayings, life is 1,000% times easier when you're not worrying about money. And so prioritize wealth creation, guys. And you know, sometimes if you don't have money, you don't even eat the right kind of foods. You can't afford fruits. Like in Kenya, fruits are more expensive than proteins and carbohydrates. Vegetables, quality organic vegetables are very expensive. So if you can't afford those, it just makes your life so much difficult. So while money is not everything, having a solid financial foundation makes life transitions like moving abroad so much easier, so much smoother, and less stressful. So, tafuteni pesa, okay? Number 8, mistake a lot of us are making that is delaying our move abroad, our move overseas, is overthinking and overplanning, paralysis analysis. We waste so much time over analyzing every aspect of the move instead of focusing on the action steps. And guys, I hope I've been posting some nuggets on my community tab. And that's one of the things I talked about. You don't have to have the full picture of how it's going to be point A, point B, point C. All you need to know is I am currently in point A and I need to be in point Z. So you're in A today, tomorrow do B. Don't worry about what C holds. So for example, I always say bare minimum. If you want my videos to help you, you need 3 things. Number 1, time. This channel is not for microwave generation. If you don't have bundles, and you don't have internet, you don't have time, you're wasting your time on this channel because we talk here. Some videos go to 2 hours. So if you don't have internet, you don't have bundles, you don't have time, patience, my friend, you're in the wrong channel, okay? And especially if you find me on a day like today when I have all the time, I can talk for 3 hours because I know I'm speaking sense, yeah? So that is number 1, time. Number 2, passport. I keep saying, if you do not have a passport and you're following me, please go and get your passport and then come back, okay? And then number 3 is a high school certificate, what in Kenya we call KCSE. And the reason is because here we try to find ways that you can move abroad and still live a dignified life. And I know having that Form 4 certificate, high school certificate, makes a whole lot of a difference. So that is one actionable step you can make. Just go, before you even know which country you want to go to. Actionable step number 1, get your Form 4 certificate if you don't have one, because that could be your key to getting permanent residence in America through green card. Get a passport. Even if you're just keeping, if that thing is worth, like in Kenya, it is 4,500 shillings, but it is, the lifetime is 10 years. So even if, God forbid, you didn't go anywhere and the 10 years expired, with your laptop with your passport under the pillow, it's like you spent 450 shillings per year. Literally, that comes to almost 20 Kenya shillings per day. So you can see it's a good return on investment. At least you can be using it as your ID. You know, like when those security guards are like, letter ID, unachomoa passport. And it gives you some, it boosts your morale. Personally, I'm very excited when I'm carrying my passport and it has all these stamps. It gives me some self-esteem, yeah? So those are some basic actionable steps you can take. So over planning can paralyze your progress. Do baby steps, 1 step at a time, 1 step at a time, 1 step at a time. Sometimes you need to act on your plan. So some of you, for example, they've been watching my videos for the last 6 years. You have never bothered to apply even for one conference. You have never bothered to apply even for a cruise ship job, even those that don't require experience. Come on, like the other day I shared with you, there was a job for washing dishes in a cruise ship. Na saizi hauna kazi, by the way, you don't have a job and you cannot even apply to go and wash dishes on a cruise ship. And I'm sharing opportunities here. So rather than waiting for the perfect moment, focus on those baby steps. What can I do now? Like now I said, green card application is free. You don't pay anything. You don't even need a passport. Go and apply. Even if you don't get selected, you do that green card application 2-3 times. The next thing, you can be charging people even 2,000, 3,000 to do it for them. You're a guru. Business opportunity. And it is free, so you have nothing to lose. I told you, my own brother, he lives in the US, been there since, I know he arrived like today, tomorrow Obama was inaugurated. He applied for a green card the first time, na alipata visa. His first application, he won. But there are people who, it was their 20th, some it was their 15th, some it was their 5th application, and all that, okay? Be willing to take risks. In fact, which reminds me, I've just remembered. So my friend, the one who was a recruitment agent, the one who started a recruitment agency, she was sharing with us yesterday. She was doing statistics of the people who are coming, who are taking up the opportunities. And interestingly, she was even doing it by, she ranked it by tribe and all that. And one of the communities emerged at the top. They were, like when they heard of the opportunity, they literally jumped in and took up all the opportunities that were there. I won't mention that community. But one thing that really, really surprised me, positively surprised me, she was even doing by age. There is a lady who is 62 years old, Kenyan lady, very well, she's a wealthy woman. She has her own house. She has her own money. She's retired. She has all these things. But she was like, you know what? Why not? I can go and try life in Serbia and see how is it like to work in Serbia, you know? I've spent my entire 62 years working in Kenya. I mean, not exactly working, but living. What harm do I have to go and try this opportunity, these simple factory jobs like packing and stuff? It's very simple jobs, working 8 hours a day and 5 days a week, free housing. She was like, why not? So if 62-year-olds are relocating and you're there at 40 saying, oh, Eva, me, I'm so old, saidia msichana wangu, shauri yako. So tuko hapa, we are here for all of it. Me, I'm 45, look at me and I'm there fighting with the youngings in Mogadishu. So number 9 mistake a lot of us are making is not being self-interested enough. Haujipendi, haujakasirika sana, like you're not angry enough with your current situation. So you guys, you've seen my, I don't know if you guys have watched that video of mine that I posted yesterday. How many have posted that? Let me even just play it here. There's a video I did yesterday, and it was about the ministry of, how many have watched that video? Let me see. Since you guys haven't watched it, let me play it here. The ministry of, like the money that you want. Why am I listening to myself? Let me put it here. I titled the video How to Exit Kenya. So let me put it here for those who didn't watch it. Let me know if you can hear.
Thank you for calling the Ministry of Frustrated Citizens. We apologize for the long wait. Our phone lines are quite busy today as everyone seems to be looking for an exit these days. To exit Kenya, press 1. To apply for a visa to another country, press 2. To report government corruption, press 3. To request a one-way ticket out of the country, press 4. To speak to a representative who also plans to leave Kenya, press 5. Please stay on the line. Your call is important to us, even though you might not be important to your own government. Your call may be monitored for training purposes, so please keep your complaints to a minimum. Have a wonderful day.
Did you guys hear? Let me know in the comment section there if you had. Let me just play it one more time for those at the back.
Thank you for calling the Ministry of Frustrated Citizens. We apologize for the long wait. Our phone lines are quite busy today as everyone seems to be looking for an exit these days. To exit Kenya, press 1. To apply for a visa to another country, press 2. To report government corruption, press 3. To request a one-way ticket out of the country, press 4. To speak to a representative who also plans to leave Kenya, press 5. Please stay on the line. Your call is important to us, even though you might not be important to your own government. Your call may be monitored for training purposes, so please keep your complaints to a minimum. Have a wonderful day.
So guys, I don't know if you've heard. If you haven't, go and if you go under videos, you'll find that video. I did it on TikTok. I was miming it on TikTok. So a lot of us have been so focused on prioritizing other people's needs over our own personal needs. Yeah. So you need to be angry enough with the current situation that you're in, so that you can, quote unquote, fight to leave that behind. So like you've seen this video which talks about exiting Kenya. I'm like, press 1 to exit Kenya and all that, you know. So if you're angry enough, you will focus on you. So I'll give you the story. There's a lady, oh, please forgive me if you're watching me. So there's a lady, she recently contacted me. If you're watching it, please forgive me. I didn't warn you that I'll talk about, but I think it's important for me to talk about your story because somebody could learn from it. So this lady used to be in a certain country, and then her contract ended. So when her contract ended, it wasn't easy to renew it because the laws of the country changed, and there is some training they need to do. So she had to come back to Kenya and then reapply for the visa. So she had some little savings, and this little savings, so when she came back to Kenya, so her mom has been unwell, and then now she had to come back to Kenya. So she was torn between, do I use this money to upskill myself and then apply for a visa so that I can be able to go back to that country and continue working? Or do I take this money and use it to treat my mom? And I was like, I hope you're not even thinking of anything, because I was telling her, so first of all, she's not the only child in a family. That is number one. Number two, I asked her, what if you weren't working in that other country? Or if what if you were even working, but you hadn't saved? Because you guys, black tax is real. So I told her, do you realize there's a possibility you could have been working in that country, but didn't have any savings? What could have happened to your mom? So I told her, you have to think long term, because the reason you left your country was because you were looking for greener pastures. You have come back, your situation is worse. You're less likely to get a job now than you were even then. So that means if you use your savings now, all of them, on this treatment, that means now we are going to have two desperate people, your mom and yourself. How about you focus on going back, upskilling yourself, and then going back to that country, start working again, and then now you can send your mother money. I don't know if you guys get the point that I'm saying here. You have to be self-interested enough. I have seen people, same WhatsApp group. So this WhatsApp group, we have almost 700 people of us. And I have seen people who even find opportunities to move abroad, especially nyinyi wa mama. And they're like, I'm the head deaconess. So if I go to America, nani ataokota sadaka? And I'm like, darling, I know you love God, but God is everywhere. He actually says, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there amongst them. So hata ukienda Lithuania ama uende Canada, and there are 2 of you who are together in that company in God's name, He is there with you. So some of you are letting opportunities pass you by because you don't love yourself enough. Others are giving excuses of, oh, my children. I'm like, see, watoto ndio wanatafutiwa. Aren't these children the same ones wanatafutiwa? Some of you, if you do not have these children, you do not even need to work. You can support yourself without working if it was not for these children. So please stop using them as excuses. It is because of these children. Some of you just need to leave your countries for even 5 years, just 5, and your children's life will never be the same again. Some of you, especially women, my husband. Interestingly enough, guys, I've told you I am in a WhatsApp group, not WhatsApp, Facebook group, a travel Facebook group. It has almost 500,000 people. And people usually come and ask questions related to travel, relocation, yada, yada. Not once. That group was opened in 2020 during COVID time, February 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. 5 years the group has been running. And I'm a very active participant. So I read at least 90% of the posts in that group. Not even once did I ever see a man post and say, oh, I need help, guys, with this decision. I have gotten this opportunity abroad, but I don't want to leave my wife behind. Do you suggest that I leave the opportunity? I have never seen even one day. Women, I even shared with you the story of that lady who got a scholarship. And I have told you guys, the moment you decide, now I want to focus on moving abroad, women, funga hizo miguu. Shut the freaking legs. Especially if that person you're opening them for has not taken cows to your home. I keep saying that all the time. And I know some of you will come and ask me, what about boy child? You know, boy child doesn't get pregnant. Boy child can become deadbeat. You cannot walk away from your pregnancy. How will you walk away from your pregnancy and it's inside your body? And once you deliver that child, you're not going to walk away from that child. Men can walk away from their children and feel nothing. You will never have peace of mind. So the safest way, guaranteed 100% way to be sure that a child will not be a barrier between you and moving abroad is to close the legs. 100% safest family planning method ni kufunga miguu. So this lady, she got a scholarship. Obviously, scholarships sio kitu ya one day. Scholarships usually take between 3 to 6 months from application to when you go to the interview to when they tell you that now you are qualified. It takes time. So which means this is something this person knew. And then anakuja huko kwa comment section of the group, oh, there's this guy, now I've gotten this visa, I'm supposed to move next week. And then now I've discovered I'm pregnant. And I'm like, of course, if you're having coitus unprotected, it's not juice is dropping in you. It's not juice, it's babies. So what are you coming to ask us? There are only two solutions. Either go to marriage stops, ama ubebe. Hakuna kitu ingine, there's no in between. Ama you pray for that child to die. Hakuna kitu ingine. Marriage stops, beba mzigo. In Luo we say, icha monya anji katanumu. You eat your tomatoes hata kama ziko mbichi, even if they are raw. So guys, I'm trying to say, I don't even know what point I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say love yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Love yourself enough. Be more selfish with yourself, your time, your ambition, your goals. In fact, there's this thing I always say, especially young girls. Let's say I'm from Kenya. I don't know. Let's use Uganda. I don't know what's the population of Uganda, but I know Uganda's population is less than Kenya. So let's say in Uganda we have somebody from Uganda. What is your population? Let's say it's 30 million. And generally in Africa, the ratio men to women is almost 50-50. So let's say there are 15 million men in Uganda. So here I am, maybe I'm 25 or 26 or maybe 22-year-old lady. And I have my eyes on the prize, which could be America, Canada, Europe, whatever. I'm single, I'm not married, no babies, nothing. So I'm planning to move to these countries. So let's say I'm moving, I don't know, in a month or two to the US. So one thing I've never understood about you women especially, or even you men, you are living Uganda. Let's say you're living 15 million men or 15 million men in Uganda. You're going to the US. In the US, the population is 300 million. 10 times Uganda, 5 times Kenya. 300 million human beings. Now, of those human beings, let's say 100 million are children, 100 million are men, 100 million are women. You're moving to America legitimately. But because of this, I don't know, it is scarcity mentality or it is poverty, I don't know what you call it. You leave 15 million men you leave 100 million men in the US where you are going. You are still dragging this 15 million. But unangangana na hizi 15 million behind you. You are still dragging this 1 million Luya man, this 1 million Baganda men, this 1 million Chichewa women, this 1 million Zosa women, and there are 100 million Americans waiting for you. You give birth with one like this, automatically your child is an American. Opportunities. But you are still dragging. Leave these Luya men to us who are here in Kenya. Leave these Bangana men to us who are here in Uganda. Leave these Chichewa women and Zosa women and whatever. Zimbabwe, what did they speak? I'm trying to remember. Leave them to us who are here in Africa. Once you go there, get men there so that you will have money to send to us. The point I'm trying to say, be focused. Love yourself enough. Focus on your goals and balance helping others, balance looking out for the others, balance thinking too much of where you're from with your own aspirations. Have goals, have dreams, think outside the box, have a long-term vision, okay? Those are the things I'm looking at. And that's what I'm saying, hakuna haja kung'ang'ana na mimba now. Forget about those pregnancies now. Coitus is overrated, believe you me. Take it from somebody who's been doing it for, I don't know, 25 years. It's overrated. And instead of getting pregnant now, you are giving birth to a Kenyan, let's wait even 6 months. Go and give birth to a child in America, automatic American citizen. So there are some decisions if we make. Oh, thank you. Annie saying abstinence is not a death sentence. Exactly. If you delay coitus for just 1 year, you could end up having an American child. And your entire life will change from there. Trust you me. Ukishindwa kumlea, leave it to the American people. The taxpayers will take care of that child, okay? Here in Kenya, ukishindwa na mtoto wako, you are on your own. In America, if my child amenishinda, I leave it to the government, takes care of that child. Yeah? Number 10, last but not least, is debt. Yeah? This is another mistake a lot of us are making, and it's really slowing down our opportunity to move abroad. So debt is not bad. Yeah? 45 million Ugandans. So let's give, so I was not too far away, 15, let's say we have 15 million men, 15 million women, and 15 million children. So I wasn't so far away. So debt is not bad. There's good debt and there's bad debt. But we are talking about where you have decided you want to move abroad. And that's why, guys, you always see at the beginning of every year, I tell us to sit down and write our goals for the year. You usually see me come here and talk about my goals, my visions and everything, because this is what is going to guide you throughout the year. So you cannot be here still taking Fuliza, I don't know, KCB, M-Pesa, M-Shwari, Mogo Kalon, sijui Platinum, sijui. What are ebu mniandikia, nimeona Jebet, ebu write for me hizo loans mnachukua. You cannot be taking those small loans, kukula mandazi, when you should be getting a passport. Take a loan to get a passport. Take a loan to get yellow fever. Take a loan to do good conduct. Take a loan to pay a legit recruitment agency. Because you've decided you're moving up. This is not the time for you to be taking loans, kununua plots maguta. No, those ones will come. Stay focused. And I can tell you, I told you that group where I'm in, the WhatsApp group. We have so many people. Some of them, actually, majority of them are working. Some of them are civil servants. And if there's anybody, I don't know about other countries, but I know in Kenya, the person with the highest possibility of getting a loan, they can get loans in 24 hours, is civil servants. Yes, Tala, COP, or hizo zote. If the person who has the highest chance of getting a loan in Kenya is a civil servant. But for a very long time, these civil servants have their pay slips. Usually have a joke in Kenya that pay slip ya polisi, mwalimu, and I don't know which other, I don't remember the third one, constantly in ICU. No, HDU. They just start breathing like this. They come to ICU, back to HDU. ICU end month, HDU throughout the month. ICU end month, HDU throughout the month. And then you find an opportunity comes to move abroad. A teacher has won a green card, pay slip iko hivi, madeni chungu mzima, and there's nothing that has been done with those denis. So guys, the moment you decide you want to move abroad, free your pay slip, work on a debt payment plan, such that if you want to move abroad today, uko na credit card, you can access a loan, and this is not the time to be looking for SACCO loans. That's why I tell people sometimes when you're planning to move abroad, talk about SACCO. Because first of all, the way SACCOs operate, you can't get your money back. That is number one. You cannot get your money back. You have to, I don't know, sell your shares to I don't know who, and you have to bribe the person who is selling those shares. It's so complex. You're not liquid. When you're investing in a SACCO, you cannot be liquid. When you're thinking of moving abroad, you need to be liquid because opportunities inakuja zikienda, they come as they go. You need cash flow, you need liquidity. So this is not the time to be in SACCOs. This is the time to be in things like MMFs, places where you enda uko peleka pesa mshwari lock account. That's where you need your money to be in, where it is. You know you can get it. That's why you need you don't want your money in fixed things that opportunity inatokezea, or you are still looking for 10 guarantors, I don't know what, and then free your pay slips. So that when this opportunity comes, unaweza tumia credit card, unaweza enda kwa bank, you apply for a loan. Some of you have been working for the last, I don't know, 20 years. Opportunities have come at a bank, huwezi kukupea pesa because of your bad debt habits. Take care of your pay slip, people. Some of you ulichukua help. You have been working for the last 10 years, but you are too selfish to even pay that help. Not realizing that the only reason you are able to get that help is because somebody paid their debt. So pay your debts, free your pay slips, lipa madeni. There's a guy on Facebook. I told you the story. This guy went to Dubai through this, they're called unscrupulous agents. Agent akamdanganya, akaenda Dubai, told them you're going to get a job. You will land at the airport and there will be somebody to pick you up. The guy, in fact, alichukua deni ya chama. They took debt from their chama. Chama is what in English? Women group, but he's a man, so I don't even actually I didn't know men are in chamas. Chamas is what? What is chama? Somebody please write. Jepet, if you're still here, please write. Anne, what is chama in English? So he went and borrowed money from the chama to pay the agent and to go to Dubai. When they arrived in Dubai, hakuna agent Otire. There is no agent, there's nothing. Wakalala airport, I don't know how many days. And then finally they were taken to, and there were like 17 Kenyans. They were finally taken to some random house with headspace. So they have been in this house for the last 7 months. They are being sent for money for food from Kenya. And then, so I asked this guy, why can't you come back to Kenya? He said, watu wa chama wataniua. I borrowed money from chama people. Where am I going to come back? So, that's why I'm saying you need to have good relationships with your bank. You know the beauty with the bank, eh? You know bank money is insured. Hata ukipotea nayo, nobody, hakuna mtu anaenda hasara. It is insured money. So make sure you're in good books with your bank. The day you will need a credit card, they will give you. The day you need a bank, and a bank loan, they might be expensive, but they can give you more money quickly. If your pay slip is good, if you're in good relationships with them, fuliza ukichukua pay. If you take KCB Mshwari, pay. If you take, I don't know what, pay. Because you want to also start over life on a clean slate. There's nothing as bad as you have all these madenis and then you're running away to another country, umeacha laana nyuma. You also want to live, like I always say, in Luo we say chien kian. You don't abuse the past. No, not the past. Behind. I don't know how to explain it. Chien means behind. Kian is not abused. Behind is not abused. In Kiswahili, there's also usidharau wahenga uzazi ungalipo. Don't dharau is to do what? What is dharau in English? Don't disrespect. Midwives, when there's childbirth, when childbirth still exists. So you don't want to be that kind of a person who left the country. So much debt, and then you are going to start life elsewhere, and you have let people cry. You will never have peace of mind when you have let people crying behind. So just live with dignity. If it is a bank loan, go and talk to the bank, let them give you that money. Go when you arrive abroad, yes, to look down upon. Yes, thank you, Michelle. So when you go abroad, you go on a clean slate. You arrive there, lipa madeni zako, pay your bills, pay your debts, and then now you can move on. So debt can restrict your financial flexibility, like I have said. So this guy now is suffering in Dubai. He cannot come back to Kenya because people are waiting for him. In Dubai, he has nothing going on for him. Work to reduce on your debt, and it will help to open up more opportunities for you. Stop taking debts, kukula mandazi na chapati. Right now, you should be focused on constructive debt. Debt that is building you. Every time unataka kufuliza, ask yourself, is this drawing me closer? Let's say your dream is to go to America. Is this drawing me closer to America or further? If it is Canada, you want to take that Tala loan. Ask yourself, is this Tala loan taking me closer to Canada or further away? You want to go and buy that dress on credit. You are on TikTok, and there's this lady, she's called Nerea Atieno, is selling. She's there catwalking. And maybe hata una matako. You have seen Nerea modeling her beautiful clothes, and you think it comes with a nyash. Wewe ni nani? Fuliza. So the dress comes, it's not even fitting you. You don't even look nice in it, and you bought it in debt. When you don't even have a passport. You don't even have a certificate of good conduct. You don't even have, I don't know what. You are busy there, plot maguta. Wachana na hizo plots. Focus now. You want to move. Focus on your move. Plots will come. Don't go and hold your money. Imekwama huko, yuko na shamba Karen, but you cannot afford an air ticket. Sasa hizo ndi mawot. Some of you even have, what is it called? Plots in very high-end areas of Kenya. But opportunity itoke saa hii, you don't even have money to buy an air ticket. So you are asset rich but cash poor. When you're planning your move abroad, focus on the cash flow, yeah? Being debt-free or having manageable debt levels will provide a solid foundation for you to quickly move when the need arises. And then the other challenge some of you have, mumechukua madeni from every Tom, Dick, and Harry in your network. Such that now the day you even want to move abroad, there is nobody you can even ask for money. Which brings me to my next point. Some of you have zero social capital. Zero. Hakuna mtu even writer. In fact, I always say, if you don't know anybody in your network, you can call them right now as I'm talking right now. Nimekwama, please send me $1,000 right now. If you don't have anybody in your network, you can call right now. Please find somebody in your life like that. Especially when you're looking to move abroad, you need to be having those people in your network. You can call them. They could be your pastor, they could be your MCA, they could be your friend, they could be your brother, they could be your sister, they could be your favorite YouTuber like me, they could be anybody. Start looking for those people in your, because you're going to need them. Believe you me, moving is not easy. Relocation is not easy. You need to have those people in your networks, yeah? Because moving overseas requires a lot of strategic financial planning, and you must be willing to take risks, not just any risks, but calculated risks, because the higher the risk, the higher the benefit. And if you avoid these 10 things that I've talked about, you can accelerate your journey abroad. You can push it so much faster and make your transition so much smoother. So learn from these expectations, try to be proactive, and especially in terms of taking steps, actionable steps to achieve your dream. So make sure you have a dream. I said at the beginning of this year, don't just be everywhere. So one, I expect everybody to be at least have American green card as one of your top choices, because it is free. You have nothing to lose. If they choose you and you're not interested, just ignore. So that is one I expect each of you to have in your radar of dreams. American green card, it is free. You have nothing to lose. Number two, especially for the young people, if you don't have like small kids or don't have any children, try the cruise ships. Try the cruise ships. Even if you never worked in a hotel, there are transferable skills. Like if you're an accountant, you're in IT, you are a pool attendant, you guys have seen, you can go and watch the Wanderlust playlists. There's a lot of people we have interviewed here on the channel. Those are very easy. I already talked about Jersey, for example, especially if you're in construction, watu wa mkono. That one is another one. Again, just send your CV and hang in there. Yeah. So I said, find 2 to 3 countries that you can be, and then rank them so that you know, kama ni America, I pursued 100%. So don't be like giving 40 here, 20 there. No. Find 2 to 3 countries. Like I've said, have at least green card. Everybody should have green card. Peana uzuria green card. October, like now, they are almost opening. You know, I will always tell you when it is open. They will open for about a month in October. Unafanya inakuondekea, that one is out. And then let's say you're focusing on, I don't know, Lithuania and Canada. So give each of those 100% so that you know, I tried my best. Let me try something else. So don't be doing 20, 30. No. Pick 2 to 3 countries, give your 100%, pursue all the possible pathways, and then ask yourself, is it still worth it? Is it still not worth it? And I said, guys, do not underestimate the continent. There are a lot of opportunities in the continent that pay even so much more than those other places you guys are looking to move to. So have your expectations in order, plan, strategize, and all that. So guys, I will quickly read your comments and then we will call it a night. So Sagid, hi. Prince saying hi, ma'am. Great evening from Accra. Sending you hugs. More hugs right back. We have Adeg Bite from Nigeria. Hi, Bon Case. Watching from South Africa. Is there any J1 visa for holders of marketing management degree? Yes, you could. So I've done a whole video on J1 visas. Please go and watch that video. And I've said, I even shared links where you can go and check what specific opportunities are there and for which country. Yeah. Prince is saying that's why we call it currency. Yes, we're talking about cash is not king. Cash flow is king. Yeah. Yvonne from Nigeria. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Eva. Is traveling history a must for US visa approval from Kenya? It is not a must, but it increases your chances of getting approved. Especially if you're saying, I'm going for travel, you cannot say that the first travel destination you want to go and visit is America. Really? Nata hujafika Panamanga. So get them stamps. It makes a difference, especially if you're traveling for leisure. Deborah is saying, hello, Big Sis Eva, watching you live from, oh my God, this flag is for which country? Somebody help me, Deborah. Is it from Ghana? Oh my goodness, which flag is this, Deborah? Is it Ghana? Bisaso is saying, okay, I know that we are in the same age. Oh, Bisaso. Sisi ni wazee, we are all old together. Prince is saying that bad on the part of the hospital. Yes, it's bad, but I mean, they're in business. DNC is saying, I love your honesty, Eva. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Prince, I just checked my entry in the DV 2025 and I wasn't selected, but we go again when DV 2026. Exactly. We have nothing to lose. Onward ever. We are not giving up until the day either we win or Jesus comes back. Prince, mom, you look way younger than 45. If you don't say it, no one will know. Oh, thank you very much. Oh yes, Deborah is talking about the video. That's very true. And hello, Eva. I enjoyed the video. Couldn't help laughing. Oh yes. Abstinence is not death sentence. Yes, Desmond Tutu. So Uganda's population is 45 billion before the. Oh yes. Mary Jabet, you really like taking the truth and talking and educating. Oh yes, guys. Truth any day. Kanosh is saying, I love your sincerity. Thank you. And Chama is a party in English. Oh, yes. Chama is a party, yes, but that's not the one I was talking about. I was talking about those chamas, our mama, those Sunday things you guys go for. Chama is where women and men put money together and then one person can think, oh yes. The only difference is these people actually meet like they don't like send the money, like you go physically. So it helps also for social bonding. So as much as it's for saving money, it's also an opportunity to bond with each other and build social capital. Oh yes, tudharau is to look down upon. Oh yes, I was talking about usidharau ukunga na uzazi ungalipo. I don't look down upon midwives when childbirth still exists. Alpha is saying, thanks for the content. I'm watching from Uganda. Orio, dear Dennis. Ugambachi. Mary Jepet, how long does the Prince Edward response take? Oh, Mary, to be honest, I don't know. They can take forever or never. But again, it's a free thing. You have nothing to lose. That's why I keep saying, just apply away. You never know. Odoku is from Ghana. Oh, thank you. At least I was, I didn't blunder on the flag. So guys, I think I am complete. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for those who commented, for those who liked the video. Thank you so much. I wish you the very best. Have a good weekend. Have a good rest of your evening. We will see you maybe tomorrow, but definitely at least one more time on the weekend. So, love you all.